Very energetic morning to all of you. Dear students, some students are unable to attend live online classes. So, this video will be very useful for you. Today, our topic is A Tiger in a Zoo, which is a poem from your book First Flight. First of all, about the poet, George Leslie Norris was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He is considered as most important Welsh writer of the post-war period, and his literary works have won many prizes. His famous works are Finding Gold, The Loud Winder, Phoenix Living Poets series, Ransoms, etc. So we are nothing to do with this enough information. We only understand that the poet is a Welsh poet and the name of the poet is George Leslie Norris. First of all, some questions are there. How many types of animals are there? Just pause the video and answer these questions in your mind. First, how many types of animals are there? Where do wild animals live? What would be the mental state of wild animals in a zoo? Where should they live? Where do they show their strength, in a zoo or in their natural habitat? So, dear students, you may have some answers of these questions, and the theme of the poem is in your answers. A tiger in the zoo. Yes. Now we will do the explanation of the poem line by line. First stanza is this: he stalks in his vivid strips the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. In this stanza, poet describes the tiger in a cage. What is the state of tiger in the cage? The tiger with vivid strips means live strips is walking with pride. Stalks means walking with pride. So the tiger is walking with pride in the cage, and he has vivid strips, live strips on his body. He looks majestic, but he is captivated in a small cage. His pads are velvet like soft. Here in third line, the poet compares his pads with velvet cloth, which is very soft cloth. And he is angry but cannot do anything because he is helpless, and this helplessness gets reflected on his face. Next lines are: he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass. Now the poet tells us what should a tiger do. How should a tiger be in a natural state? He should be lurking in shadow. Lurking means staying, hiding, and sliding means walking with ease. So the poet explains that what is the natural state of, what should be the natural state of the tiger. He should be hiding in shadow in search of animals to kill and eat, and he should slide through long grass in search of his prey. Near the water hole where the plump deer pass. Plump means fat, fatty, fleshy. The poet pities that the tiger should have been lurking and sliding in the tall grass instead of being in the cage. He should have been in the natural habitat, hunting and resting. Obviously, the poet implies that his freedom has been snatched from him. He should have been stalking some fatty deer near a water hole and lying there expecting a good feast, a good food. Next lines. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Snarling means growling. Edge, edge means margin. Baring means showing. Fangs means here teeth. Claws means nails. Terrorizing means frightening. In this stanza, the poet imagines what the tiger should be doing if he doesn't get any animal in forest. In that case, the tiger would be snarling, growling around the houses near the jungle's edge. He would be growling near some village and showing his white fangs and fearful claws. He should show his teeth and his nails. Why? To terrorize the villagers. That way we would be terrorizing the villagers. The poet tells that if we destroy the natural habitats of wild animals, they would be invading our cities and villages as they have started doing so now. Next lines. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Here again the poet is talking about the tiger in his cage, but he is not in his natural habitat. He is in cage, he is in zoo, and he is locked, imprisoned in a concrete cell. Concrete means made of cement and concrete. His strength is now his strength is behind bars. Now his strength is bound. Stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now he is walking in the limited length of his small cage, and he is trying to ignore visitors. Here in this stanza, the poet says that the tiger is now imprisoned in a small cage with concrete surface. In spite of all his strength, he moves in helplessness on the stony surface of his cell. He is angry and disappointed, but he cannot do anything. He ignores the visitors. The poet describes the helplessness and the indifference of the officials towards his pathetic plight. Next and last stanza is, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. In this stanza, the poet is talking about his helplessness, and somewhere he has some hope. The tiger remains disturbed by patrolling cars, by the sound of patrolling cars even at night. He has lost all hopes of getting into his natural habitat. He stares at the brilliant stars, seemingly praying to the Almighty for freedom. Means he continuously stares at the brilliant stars at night with his brilliant eyes. Brilliant eyes means there is a hope in his eyes, and he is staring brilliant stars as if he is praying to the Almighty for his freedom, and he is hopeful for his freedom. He seems to be searching for some hope and rest in the brilliant stars. So this is the poem. explanation. And here you have the theme of the poem. The poem conveys the message that the real home of wild animals is their natural habitat, means forest. Rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B. How to identify the rhyming scheme? Look at these lines and look at the last word. Just check the last word of lines. First is night, cars, eyes, stars. So night, we can denote this with A, cars with B, eyes with C, and stars again B. So rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B. Here poetic devices, some poetic devices are used. Repetition means repetition of some words in a line. For example, velvet, quite rage in first stanza, and in last stanza, brilliant eyes, brilliant stars. Repetition of brilliant. Assonance, I have already told you, assonance means repetition of a vowel sound in a line. So in the first stanza, in his vivid strips, so which vowel sound is repeated? E, means I letter, and E vowel sound is repeated in his vivid strips. So E sound is repeated here. Metaphor means to compare something to any other thing. So here the poet, in first stanza, the poet compared his pads, means his soul, to the velvet cloth, means his pads are so soft like velvet cloth. So this metaphor is used. These are extract based questions. Now you can do these questions based on your understanding of the poem and vocabulary. Question number 2 and 3, these are some short answer type questions. Where should the tiger have been according to the poet? You know this, the answer. How does the tiger make his presence felt in the village? By terrorizing the villagers. Why should the tiger snarl around house at the edge of the forest? Now you know all these answers because you have studied in this poem. These are hot question, you have to do yourself in your words. Question number 1, love for freedom is the natural instinct of every living being. Comment. Here you have to comment upon the necessity of freedom for every living being, maybe human being and animals. Question number 2, do you agree that wild animals should be caged? Comment yes or no, giving reasons. You are to do these answers in 100 to 150 words in your words. So I hope now you have understood the poem very well and you practice these answers in written. So thank you and have a nice learning, all of you.